Leaving an auto garage right now, as you can tell. I had to drop my car off to get some work done. Anything man-made requires maintenance, as we all know. But what about us as human beings? Don't we require maintenance too? Of the physical kind, yes, definitely. But also mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, we break down and we need repair from time to time. Life happens and you deal with it. Your reaction to what happens, though, is very important. Sometimes we mess things up. We cause problems in life because of our attitude, mostly, because of our behaviors. And that is what this book was about. The Matter is Life by J. California Cooper. It is about life and how we deal with it, our reaction to what happens to us, the things that we do to cause things to happen to us, our attitude. That's what it's about. This book is 240 pages long. It is a short story compilation. There were 8 stories in this book. If you like Alice Walker or Toni Morrison, then you'll enjoy J. California Cooper. I think this book is the perfect length for those of you who like to participate in the reading marathons, or, you know, it's perfect for Black History Month or ReadSoulLit or the Reading Blackout, or doggone it, just because it's a Thursday, check out this book or any of her works. Now, I'll admit that this isn't my favorite work by her. My favorites are, to this day, the novels Family and Life is Short But Wide. And I did a video review of Life is Short But Wide here on the channel several years ago, and you could check that out. Now, back to this particular book and the specifics about this one. I'll tell you that it was told with a very conversational tone. You felt as if you were sitting down with a good friend and they're just regaling you with all these stories of people that they've encountered throughout the years, stories that are sometimes funny, heartbreaking, unnerving, but all just very true because the people feel so real. Reading this book just kind of reminded you of cautionary tales about the 7 deadly sins. And reading this book reminded me of, you know how you're a child and the old folks are sitting around talking. It's like you're sitting at the feet of your elders learning. You ain't supposed to be listening, but you are listening and you're learning. That's kind of what this book sounded like to me. The characters in this book are young and old, rich and poor, bright and naive, warm and cold, just a good mix of characters. And the protagonist, some of them you root for, you'll love them and you'll root for them. Others, you won't be able to stand them and you can't wait for them to get their comeuppance because they are a mess. Reading the book is like looking into a mirror and looking at yourself reflected in some of the characters, if you're honest with yourself, because we're all flawed. And these people definitely were flawed. I think there were a lot of things that she wanted to teach us in this work, but if I had to guess, the overall theme is get your life. Clean up your mess. Change your attitude. Change your behaviors. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Be loving, be kind, be smart, be thoughtful, because in the end, the only thing that really matters Here's one of my favorite passages out of the book from the story Vanity. I'ma tell you something about this life I done found out. Sometimes from the birthstone to the tombstone ain't nothing but a few steps. High ones, low ones, don't matter. And sometimes you don't even know you've been walking on the road of time, think you've been standing still and you've been flying with your feet. Laughing, having a good time, even crying, having a bad time. Then one day you look up and you way, way up the road. One day you 20, overnight you 30. One moving year, 40. One afternoon, 50. After that, it passed by like hours, minutes. All the time you thought you were spending only money, you've been spending time. Time, child, time. The most valuable thing you got or ever gonna have. And here's a passage from one of my other favorite stories, No Lie. Everybody talking about how time is such a great, forever long thing. Makes me wonder why the little piece of life we get is such a short one. I know I could use a couple 100 years more, 'cause the time you do get ain't nothing but enough to show you what you ought to have done with the time you already had. Then you be done got to the end of your life and ain't had time to really, really use what you done learned. No lie. So my favorite stories out of this book would have to be Evergreen, Vanity, and No Lie. Those are the ones that I like the most. So Dee Dee, thank you so much for asking me to participate this year as a host for ReadSoulLit. I really do appreciate it. I look forward to watching everybody else's videos. Thank you all for stopping by. Until next time, keep reading. See you later.